Hello and welcome back to Against the Storm. In our last episode, we finished this ill-advised detour into the marshlands, Moss Grove, with actually a bit of positive in it in the end, a bit of stability in it in the end. And so now it is time, we have no other choice but to either face the sealed forest again, and specifically this time the Silver Seal, which is the veteran level seal, or to proceed with ending the cycle without facing the seal. Well, other than the fact that we would get a bunch of Citadel resources, I always forget that for some reason for a moment, from turning in all these unused seal fragments, I think it's best to attempt to complete the sealed forest and also get that benefit. The seal will take 20 of those, so that's just under half, and possibly it looks like we get 4 anyway for doing this. So that means we would actually still come out of this with 22 after completing it. So it's still pretty good, and that would be kind of nice. So let's before we do that, we need to spend some of our upgrade points, though, some of our Citadel resources on the upgrades tree. I asked for feedback on that in the end of the last episode, and I also gave it some thought, as well as looking at your feedback. And I was in here just kind of doing some math before I started, and we have all agreed that we don't want to do dim square. I don't think there's anybody who is interested in that, although more trade routes could be useful, I suppose. We're going to leave dim square alone for right now. We also kind of decided to leave the brass forge alone right now, even though brass order could potentially be good. We actually can't afford to get up there anyways, so there's no point in doing that. Starting ability for foxes is a strong contender. Costing us 84, 12, and 12. That'll deplete more than half of our artifacts and a little less than half of our food stockpiles, as well as some of our fairly copious machinery. So that's a strong contender. Here in the Obsidian Archive, we basically decided that we're not going to do this, just because to get to the next useful thing, it's all the way up here, and yeah, meh. Down here, in the Monastery of the Vigilant Flame, this is another strong contender. Not for this bonus particularly, but for this one, the starting ability for the lizards. The lizards will bring with them 10 tools, versus the foxes bringing with them, where was it here? The location of one of the nearest geysers. Which thing is more valuable? Possibly the fox starting ability, because at least we get a steady supply of that type of rainwater at least. Whereas with the lizards, we would only get 10 tools, which are useful, but yeah. And this also though brings the way toward this additional cornerstone increase and the sacrifice cost decrease, which means that sacrificed resources burn 10% longer, which are also very useful things. So we got to also consider things that are behind the veil here. The embarkation bonus or the plantation is meh. We barely hit level 13, so we're going to be a while before we get to 14. The herb garden's a bit better, but even so, like, this is where I would potentially start with being able to use it, and then maybe the housing upgrades for the humans. And then finally here in the Vanguard Spire, the newcomer gifts here, and then the next thing for that is way up there, but the newcomer gifts is actually really good. So first of all, we're going to take newcomer gifts, because getting more stuff with the people we bring in is never a bad idea, because that stuff helps sustain our operations. So let's take that. And then the real argument here is whether we take the fox starting ability or we work our way into the lizard starting ability. Now this is 78 and 6, whereas this is 84, 12, and 12. So right off the bat, the lizard one is cheaper, but the lizard one is also not necessarily as useful. Of course, we should actually, before we make that decision, we should make an observance. Which group do we want to take? If we took this one, we'd have foxes. We would only have 7 foxes. This is 7 humans. This is 9 plus 2 people. Now, of course, we don't know what the third species is here. It could be foxes, it could be lizards, it could be harpies. We have 1 stack of raw food, some parts, and then those people. Here we have a bunch more food and stone. And here we have a bunch of food, including some cooked food, by the way, or some complex food. Here we have some food, some planks, and some stone. 4 people, though, are worth a lot of things. So I think we have to do this one, which means that we don't know whether we're going to get foxes or lizards, to know which one is going to be advantageous for us to take. So one decision would be to not take either one because we don't know, but that's the coward's way out. One decision would be to take the one that seems better, even though it's more expensive. The other decision would be to take the one that's cheaper. I think I will take the fox ability, which means that I will most likely not see foxes in this next town, but having that ability is far more useful for my gameplay style than the lizard ability. Not to say that we shouldn't go with the lizards as soon as we can, which I think we should, possibly even in the next town. Although we may actually be better off going all the way up here to wherever it was, the brass order faction for the next town, given that it's the opening for a new map, and we would need to have the more factions we have, the more trading we can do. So maybe that's the better option for the next town. But either way, we could afford one of these, but not both, because we would need 78 to do it. So we could go ahead and take this one, which gives us that 2% reduction to fuel consumption in hearths, presuming the fact that we would go with this one soon in the future. And I think that's a good presumption, so let's do that too. Because we can use that passive bonus right away without, even though we aren't going to use the active bonus of the additional embarkation items. Choices, I should say. So one of the things that I don't know, and maybe it's me not paying attention to the way things are worded, or just not knowing whether what I'm looking for, or knowing that this name here, Followers of the Forsaken Gods, and Commenda Contract, what that means. But some of these seem like you have to embark to the point where some of these world events seem like you have to embark to the point where that is in order to use it. And some of them seem like they're just a deal you're making, and then you can embark wherever you want. And these might both be, to be fair, might both be those destination spots where you have to embark there, which is why I can't click on them. Just like I can't click on any other tiles. If these are those special deals you're making, then I hope that you would be able to click on them even here in this seal or bail scenario that we're in right now, or situation we're in right now. So hopefully these are both the you must embark to this point type of world events, but I don't know how to tell other than actually clicking on it and choosing and then learning after the fact. If you do know, please let me know in the chat or the comments, or come to my Discord server, our Discord server, Chill Gaming Friends. You can find that link in the description below. So let's go ahead and get our embarkation going. So we decided we're going to do this group because people are better than no people, but we're going to add more people to the people, so we're going to have 14 people. And then we're going to go with maybe one of the farm or herbalist buildings. Let's take a look at the resources here because I can never remember. Herbs, mushrooms, and berries. So mushrooms and berries mean that would be a good choice. And small farm is never a bad choice, so possibly one of those. But we'll pause on that thought for right now. Just to be thorough, I'm probably going to take this, and I'm going to take... Oh, I forgot we don't see... We do have clay. Let's take some clay then. We're going to see stone here, though, from the sea marrow. From the sea marrow on the ground, not the trees, but the sea marrow on the ground will give us a small amount of stone. And if we get that, we'll use that for, I don't know, shenanigans, probably. But I think we'll take the clay here. And then we're going to want to take a bunch of food. If we took all the food, and we could also take some fuel too, but we're going to start off with, what is it? Only 4 coal? Oh, because we have the subtraction of the coal. Yes. That actually might not be a bad idea to spend 4 points on coal also. Or oil, but the fact that we don't get either one, or we don't get coal on the ground, means that maybe the coal will be useful for working a world event. At least, unless and until we get a kiln to make some coal. So maybe. But we definitely want to take some food. And if I wanted to save... So, if I wanted to save 4 points for the herbalist camp and 4 points for the coal, that means I can only spend 1 more point. Wait a minute, did I do... Yes... Lose the current setup. I did do the thing. I did pick the extra... seal fragments, so okay. Just want to make sure I did actually do that. So we said this one. We could also not take those 3 people and have those 2 points for something else. Or we could not take this wood and have that for something else too, although This does not have the bonus wood, so it's not the best idea, I don't think. Not that 36 wood is make or break, but... Well, we have 14 people. Maybe 36 wood is worth it. To not take, that is. But if we wanted to spend enough on coal and on the herbalist camp or the farm, then we would spend all 8 of these reserve points, which means it only leaves us 1 point for food. And given the fact of this configuration, we need to take a lot more food than that. So I think we should spend 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my indecision hits me, because do I want the coal, or do I want the camp, or do I want the farm? The camps and the farms come up often enough, either in the in the blueprints or in the traders, that I think I could get away with, you know, maybe not this camp, although this is the trapper camp is also as good. The forager is just going to give us roots here, so that one's not as good. So I think I'm going to take the coal, which I never do. And I still have 1 point left. So what I think I'm going to do is refund the wood and take the broccoli, take the vegetables. Because, as I said, we could really, really use the food here, because we're only bringing in 24 eggs plus the 36 we always bring. And I just feel like we need to have the food here to start with. The wood, I think, given that we have 14 people, we can have the 3 woodcutter strategy to start with and make up for that wood a little bit. So let's embark and stop talking for a while. Berry New Year, +3 to berries production. So we're going to want to take that herbalist, whatever we have for berries for the herbalist, on and off, if we can manage that micromanaginess in and out of the drizzle season. Of course, we have Looming Darkness, Humid Climate, Fuel Consumption and Hearth is increased by 20% for each hostility level. Well, it's a good thing that I did the one that turned down some of the fuel consumption. At Hostility 3, Acid Rain. Rain dissolves some of the resources transported to your warehouse. Recipes producing building materials yield 50% fewer goods during the storm. So, same kind of thing. If I wanted to micromanage, I would pull some of those workers out from building material production during the storm, at and after Hostility 3. Also at Hostility 3, Frustrated. Villagers with this effect have -2 penalty to their resolve, and a stack of this effect is added every 60 seconds. Complex food and housing. Well, housing part won't be hard. The complex food we can hopefully accomplish as well. And then at Hostility 4, Insatiable Hunger. Working in this environment requires a lot of energy. Villagers have a higher chance of consuming twice the amount of food on each break. 10% additional chance for each hostility level. Then, of course, we have Ugly Trees. We know about the Ugly Trees. Every 10 felled trees add 2 hostility points. But also, that's hostility scale based on difficulty, which means that I think it's 6 for us now per 10 felled trees. But also, woodcutters don't increase hostility, so we can keep the woodcutters in during the storm, which means that we can hopefully make some progress on that. Although in that case, I should have thought about that, and maybe I should have kept bringing the wood with me. Whatever, it'll be fine. 36 wood means if we chop the ugly trees means like 3.5 trees, which means another 22 has 21 hostility, something like that. And then of course the hidden seal. We know about that. We know about the beacon tower and the overgrown vegetation, because we've done a few of these seals before. So we're going to have to focus on the big uglies. We have lizards. Of course we do, because I took the fox bonus. I called it. We have some starting reeds and mushrooms. That's fine. This will be our first forbidden glade, or danger glade then, because here's the field. And who knows where any geysers might be. You bring with you what? I forget what the beavers bring with them. Oh, it's locked. We don't have it yet. Okay. All right, so let's do woodcutters. 1, 2, 3. Please build, and then you can also build me some roads. There, here, and that one back there. We're gonna go this way anyway, because I'm gonna clear a bunch of these trees for housing. Although that's not the best idea because of the hostility from the tree chopping thing. So let's at least do this anyway, because we want to chop some of those uglies. The big uglies, that is, that are all right there in the big cluster. Right? Oh, 20 charges. Why did I think there was only 10 charges? Yeah, 20 charges. 10 times the charges. There's 2 in every tree, base trees. Let's put 1 here. Let's also put some workers in there. That would be good. Let's do 2. Let's do this, but with a control, so we don't chop the ones next to the glade. Nope, not move. Staff it. Not you. Put humans in the 3rd slots, by the way. And then this one, I think maybe we want to open a small glade. We're going to have to chop some of these trees to have some room for housing. We can't get by without doing some indiscriminate chopping. We just have to be very particular about what we do chop, because we need to make room for housing at least. So we're going to do something like that. I think that might be a big ugly. No, it's not. Okay, good. Let's do you and 2 of you. All right, who do we have in the hearth? Beaver. Fuel consumption is decreased. We'll want to use that when we get to this point. No. This point. But for right now, we don't need to, so I think I'm going to put the lizard in there for right now. And then we can do crude workstation and makeshift post. Unpause again. It's fine. Beacon tower is there. We will probably build it at some point. Let's see. We want to do also camps for the harvesters and the herbalist. Also, taking the herbalist camp as part of the embarkation would have been smart if we had harpies. As there's only a 33% chance of getting them, it wasn't worth the risk. Trapper's camp's probably the choice here. Of course, the herbalist camp pops up, but Trapper's camp's probably the choice here due to the meat and bugs, but the herbalist camp would be good as well. But given the fact that we have lizards, I'm more leaning towards that. The small farm could be good, especially because we do know we have a farm that we can work. But I think I still am going to take the Trapper. Probably, but we're going to wait and see, because that's the first blueprint choice, and we don't need to make that choice yet. First cornerstone, popping in a moment. There it is. Woodcutter song. For every 20 felled trees, global resolve is increased by 3 for 120 seconds. No. Because we're not going to chop that many of the regular trees, that means that we will not be chopping that many trees, because we're going to get 1 felled tree with 20 charges. We're never going to hit this. So, no. Gain 1 lizard for every 25 eggs produced. That's an interesting one to take here. Because we will have eggs, right? No, we will not have eggs. Then screw that one. Let's go with Fungal Guide, probably. But let's wait for the orders to come through, too. I forgot it's meat and bugs, no eggs on this biome. So Fungal Guide might be the best because we know we have mushrooms. We know it. I'll close that as well. And here's the orders. Let's see what those look like. First choice. Glades or deliver 5 tools. Well, if I had taken the lizard starting ability, I could have done this one, paid this one off. I think we'll do the cut through the glades thing, because we're going to have to open up more glades, possibly. So let's do that. That'll also give us some nice building materials a little bit later, and the glade event working stuff. Here, this pipe one comes back. Producing 6 pipes and giving them away. We don't have... We have copper here somewhere. We don't have any of either in stock. That is, we didn't bring it with us. But 3 trade routes and 5 packs of crops. I think we should do that one. And then here, building materials or 40 rainwater in rain engines. We're definitely going to do this. I'd probably rather not do that. And the extra pipes and parts and people are a good thing as well. And 40 is almost nothing. So let's do that one. Let's do this cornerstone for Fungal Guide. Mushroom production increases by +1 every 25 times it's produced. Each one of these nodes is 23. So almost 1 per node. And there are 6 of them here. So we're going to get almost 6 additional mushrooms per pick when we pick from now, after we finish that patch. Or over the course of finishing that patch. So I think we'll go with the trapper here. And then I would like to have some building materials production, which we're not going to get in this role, obviously. But I think I will go with the provisioner. Yeah. And then finally, we have the choice, the fated choice of which building material we want to favor. I think we should favor wood, because wood is the one that's going to be the toughest, because we're going to chop as few trees as possible, reasonably at least. So we need to boost the plank production. This one to give us bricks and copper bars, though, at 2 stars, and we should see copper on the ground someplace here. And then this one would give us bricks at 3 stars, plus a 2-star pottery and a 1-star crystallized dew, which we could potentially make, although the risks of that are, well, we'll have the vegetables if we get the small farm, we'll have the herbs if we get the herb garden, we'll have bugs if we find them on the ground. That wouldn't be bad either, but I think we should go with the lumber mill, even though the lumber mill's not my favorite anymore of the plank producers. Let's take a look at that recipe first. We need 2 cloth. So we need to have somebody come here and make me some fabric, which we don't even have the materials for. We should start that reed picking now then. Let's do that, and then let's not... No, you make bricks too. That's fine. And no pipes. So you can come and work here. Wait, how do I have an extra beaver? 2. Oh, I pulled them out of the hearth. Right, duh. That was stupid. And then this, we won't need this for provisions anymore. We won't need packs of building materials either, but we will want some packs of crops. And we could either choose to do that right now, which we would need to make 3 recipes of. That might not be the worst plan, because we do have 186 raw food right now, mostly eggs. That wouldn't be the worst plan to do. To say, limit this to 5, and put somebody in here and have them do that. But we should also definitely get somebody on this task right here. So that'll be you. And that leaves me with 1 builder left. I'm going to move you over like this. And I'll put some housing in here, because we need to get these going as well. Which means I should probably pull one of those, somebody out of somewhere to get some more... that tree too, please. To get some more building going, because we're going to need it. This can get moved over there either way. And we do have that big trapper camp, which we don't need yet, but we will at some point soon. I will probably open one of these small glades here, just because we could potentially use whatever we find there. And this one's really close, only a couple tree depths, so it won't be too bad to get there. We need to have 5 houses, plus the park. That'll be 3, 4, with the 5th one in there someplace, and we can put a park in right here. Do I want you to work on that one, or this one down here? Probably this one down here. Although that puts it where I want the house to be, so maybe not. Or maybe I want to make just a little bit more room here. 2 more trees right there. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Okay. And they really take their time to chop into those trees, don't they? At least they all will chop at the big ones, like more than 2 of them will chop at it because there's 20 charges. That's kind of handy. And can I move one of these yet? No. Ish. Can do that. Let's do this. At least we'll get down to one house left. It's a bit snug in there, but that's okay. You've made the packs of crops that I needed, so cancel that. Pull this person out. Return that stuff to sender. And they can also help with the construction. We're just going to sit on those 5 packs of crops. And we'll get to them eventually. I may end up moving one of you out of here. Probably to come over here and do this. But I only have that one last tree for them to chop anyways. We're at level 1 now. They're halfway done with that tree. I guess I trimmed too many trees on this side because I didn't need to go that far over, at least not yet. Yep, I'm going to pull this one out, come over here and chop at those. We'll put one more house in right there. And the last 2 workers will take care of that swiftly enough. And we'll be fine for those last 2 people either way, I think. Because roguelite hostility 0, because only the tree cutting costs hostility. Alright, new plague. Plague of mosquitoes. The sky turns black with a swarm of mosquitoes. Bitten villagers can't focus on work. Global production speed is 50% slower. That's okay. That is okay. Oh, by the way, we should probably do something about this. Specifically the... Ooh! Treasure stag. We're going to have to chase it. Sea marrow and reeds. And this is telling us that we need to go this way to our glade. It's probably going to be that one then. Right? And, what else did I want to do? I just forgot. Oh, yes. I wanted to do the lumber mill. Okay. Build lumber mill. There. And then I think I will build also soon. Which way did you go? You went this way. That's not actually bad. It's not the best, but we'll just do this one instead of that one first. That'll be okay, because we don't have a farm yet anyway. Yet. Anyway, provisioner can also go in here in the same area. And I'll go ahead and put that in once we have liftoff on the lumber mill there. Because I wanted them to use the fabric first, so we can get planks going. We pull one of the beavers, put them in here. We put woodcutter's board. This one? Oh, we chopped all those trees. Okay, come over here and... Oh, no, wait. Let's do something over here. We need to get to that in 3 minutes. Let's do this, and let's do this, and let's get through here as quickly as possible. Actually, the quickest way is to go through this small glade here. I think there's fewer trees. This is only 2 trees and only 2 trees, and that's a lot more than that. So this is fewer trees. It's better to do, and it's not that much hostility that we have to worry that much about it. So let's cut 4 trees there and 4 trees there. And then that's just going to need that additional stuff. And we could probably also build our trader. Maybe I'll just put it out here in this glade. Can I fit it in here? No, of course not. Oh, there it goes. We'll put it right there. At least for right now. We can always move it later. It's movable for free. It could be in this one. It could be. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be way out here. But it could be in this one. And this gives us drizzle water geyser. Nice. Clay. Meat. Small meat, because we're in a small glade. And copper, which we could start mining anytime. Once we get rid of this thing. Okay, so that's also pointing in this general direction. Oopsie. Which means that given the 2 of them, we're looking at probably that one. I'm guessing. Educated guess, but I'm guessing. Every glade event solved by making a decision marked as empathy lowers hostility by 40. Protected trade hostility by 10 every time we sell goods worth 30 amber. Or wood production is increased by +1 by harvesting and planting are slower. Both of these give us a hostility benefit. Empathy events are a little bit harder to find, although the treasure stag is going to be one of them. But we'd have to sell 120 amber. Goods worth 120 amber in order to get one empathy event. I think I should set on this for a bit, at least until we get into this glade. Let's move, speaking of getting into this glade, move you all down there. And let's move you all down, not there, because we're going to have to go back in here someplace, I guess. 3, 2, also do people. People? People. We could really use the lizards. Beavers, I think we're okay on. So let's do this one, plus it comes with food. Not that we aren't able to pick a bunch of mushrooms, but we could use the people there. And then we're going to need another house for them. Because we brought in 3 people, so that means we need another house. And I think that'll do it. So let's wait just until we open this glade. Actually, there might have been 3 trees there. Either way, it's still, I think, less than this would have been. Chop, chop. Yeah, you can reach that whole stretch. That's fine then. And you'll be here in 23 seconds, Shork. Come on, come on, come on. Because I think it's an empathy event that we take when we do the favorable one here. It's corruption and empathy. So I think we should do this empathy thing here. We could do it in either order because this is a retroactive bonus. But I think this one's worth it. That would be worth it if not. But 120 amber is quite a lot. And quite a bit of time to wait on, whereas this one would knock us down 40 hostility right away. And we're going to get, for our efforts, moderate increase to our reputation. Okay. Versus the force remember the insult. Half a reputation point. And the Forest God has blessed your villagers. This day will be remembered for generations, +1 to global resolve. That's not a bad deal. And this glade does indeed have a indicator telling us that we need to go that way. Okay, so we have a stone-tooth termite burrow. We just took care of the royal treasure stag. A medium abandoned cache. Fertile soil times 14. We have that there, plus this over here then, whenever we find a farm. Copper, bugs of both kinds, and small meats. So good thing we got the big trapper, which we need to go ahead and build too. Let's get that started here while we're thinking about it, because I will forget. And then let's take a look at this. If I was willing to part with that many of those things, we could get this back, but we also have a lot of bugs that we can pick up anyways, so we don't really need the bugs. And however, somebody remembered to bring fuel, although I think I will do sea marrow here because we can recover that, possibly, on the ground. This will give us a slower harvesting and planting, which I think is fine, and it's going to give us a bonus to mushrooms, again, +1, so that means that stacked with the other bonus we've already gotten, up front we'll get 21 mushrooms, or 2 mushrooms for every charge picked, and then every 25 charges we'll get an additional mushroom each time. So then we'll be up to 7 mushrooms per pick, after almost 7 mushrooms, after we pick all 6 of those patches. So I think that's worth it as well. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll throw a couple of people at it. That's fine. We don't have any foxes this time. Also, we'll get the meat and the eggs there. So let's do that. Bring me your fuels. Bring me your fuels. Let's move this slightly, because I want to put my road through here. Road, road, road. Oh, I should have chopped those 2 trees. Well, we're going to take out those 2 trees too, because I do like straight roads. And then we'll put a road in right through here, because we're going to take that thing down anyway. Put a road in right through here, like so. And then I think I'm going to put you up in here to take out these trees in the middle of this glade. Maybe. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. This is a good glade to live in, though, so maybe I should, at least eventually. We don't have to do it right now. But what we can do is plan for it by putting a warehouse in a smart place. So this could be anywhere from here this way. The farm building would go right there, so we'd want to have a little bit of a side road, maybe right here. Just going to put in one tile. So maybe that's the corner in which I put the warehouse, is like right here, which would be good, I think. And so then we can put you back here to help you, to have you do some of this stuff, and we can put that warehouse in right there on that corner. Given the nature of this map, I want to plan these glades as I come into them rather than waiting until later. So once that is done, which it needs the fabrics, then although we could, no, we can't. All right, never mind. You are making the fabrics. Let's have you force delivery. Jorg is here now, and Jorg wants to sell me an herb garden if I had the money for it. That's a lot of parts, to be completely fair. That's a lot of parts. But do I want to part with any of them? In order to get 19, I would need to spend $23.75, which is fully half of the parts. So I don't necessarily want to do that. Mostly I did this just so that we could have the traders, the trade routes. So I think I'm going to pass on Jorg. It's a little early for me for trading, but that's okay too. Are you a big ugly? No, okay. You're chopping that, you're chopping these, and I think we'll leave this alone here. Otherwise, we'll move out and go get some big uglies over here. That's down. You can come over here, and you can get these big uglies. Almost those. I think they can get at them. We'll see. It'll yell me in a minute. You're done too. Let's go right here, and you can help with that big ugly harvest. You're just about... Oh, there's some not big uglies back here, though, that somebody selected. Who did that? Oh, you must be chopping that one down. Alrighty. Let's see. What if we did some of these big uglies over here? Shift. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Not that one. Shift Alt. That one. Okay. Trapper. Let's put at least one lizard to work doing the trapping stuff right now. We're going to get these bugs over here first, I think. Priority 1 on that one. Because I think these are in range still. One of them is, yeah. And this warehouse will be there for them when they're ready for it. Yes, we need to knock down one of these trees. That's fine. You can go. Orders. And the trader's departing. 12 villagers with jerky need fulfilled. That won't be a problem down the road because there's 2 of our 3 species like the jerky. If we get a good jerky, if we get a jerky recipe, that'll be really good. Or we could use 100 units of rainwater and rain engines. I think we should do this one. Turn in all these packs, all of which we can make to get a bonus to pack production. Kinda pass. 6 trade routes, still goods for 20 amber. Yeah, let's do that one, although this does not give me very much confidence. Are we getting... Yeah, okay, we're getting a leather from trees. I think I will do this one anyway. Just because. Okay, those guys are happy. You're leaving. We're going to go through this small glade, I think, here again. Because this is pretty narrow. And that is pretty narrow. But we're going to wait on that for a little while. You're burninating the termites. We need to get somebody down here to build this, but they're building that first. I'm going to need you to focus on... Oh, that's what the problem was. I had it listed as 30. Oops. Oops. I didn't want you to make bricks at all, because there were already 10. You didn't need to make those. Let's force delivery here. I would like to put somebody in here, but I don't have anybody to put in there at the moment. Unless I pulled a woodcutter, which I probably should do. So let's do that. Because I would like to make some packs of provisions here with the eggs we have in abundance at the moment. There you go. Yeah. I would probably make more than 10, but for now 10 is fine. Might up that to like 20. This just happens to be in the way of my road. But that's okay, we'll deal with it. In that case, though, I don't want this to be a road spot, and neither do I want that one to be. I'll probably just leave the road alone. We should build the stone cutter. While we have the, when we have the time. And eventually we'll need a small forager, but for now we don't need one either. I'm not going to delete these until the time comes, but just to remind you, they are worth, oops, I don't even have to click it, 10 stone and 5 resin apiece, so that's not nothing. So actually the more glades we open before we find the seal is mildly beneficial, but not greatly beneficial. I should go around this farm to go in there eventually, to have a road through. And I may eventually just open this up to at least a path, just to shortcut that. I'll decide that at some later date. I would have liked for this to have been done already, but alas, it's not. I would like for them to not have to walk all that time. I probably should have paused this person too, till they got that bonus. That's okay. Yeah, we're already 12 charges into that. Housing is good. We should do decoratives again. Let's do an extra of these now, so I have to find it. We'll do that, and we're going to wedge some of these other decoratives in someplace. Maybe... I don't want to do it there. Maybe just like back here or something? Or I could just put them right here. Yeah, let's just do it. Doot, 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 doot. Alright, we're barely into hostility 1. We're doing good. In that respect, at least. And they've got lots of ugly trees to chop. That got done. Although I don't know that I need that. We'll do that anyway. Then we need to work our way this way, too. So maybe I borrow back one of these. Maybe the triple. Yeah, they're both doubles. Alright, we'll take this one. We're going to park it right there. I'm going to take out just a few of these trees for right now. Like just enough to get kind of through. And then we'll go there. Plague of Malady. The sealed ones have inflicted a mysterious disease on the settlement. Villagers take 50% longer rest and have a 100% chance of consuming twice as much food during a break. Well, at least it's not something horrid. That's fine. And we really only have raw food anyways, which is not good yet on this, but it'll have to live. We'll have to live. Near my remaining triple. I think that one can actually be removed without causing problems, but I don't trust myself. The game told me no, so I'm going to go with that. Alright, we have another indicator, of course, plus 11 more fertile soil, copper, and clay. And actually, I don't have to hit a farm. Actually, there might be a feasibility of a third farm here in the middle between these two that would help with the planting and harvesting of both of them to some extent. That's a possibility. I don't know if I want to exercise that possibility, but that's a possibility. And then we want to do probably over here, because this is pretty narrow. This set. And I think I'm going to bring these folks over here to help with this effort. And we're going to pop it into that other danger glade and find our seal before we end this episode. And I'm going to delete all 4 of those indicators. Get myself 40 stone and 20 resin. I believe. Yeah. Here we are. Cornerstone. Cannibalism. I hope we don't have anybody leave or die, but we could do that. For those, I don't really care for well-rested workers because that comes so much later. Toward the end, that is. That by the time I finally get a building to sell ale in and get them going, it seems like it's so late that it's not that worth it for the double yields. But this is humans and beavers, so that is a possibility. And then secure trail, newcomers will arrive 25% quicker. Double-edged sword, because then your people are arriving during the storm. Which means that if you take them, your hostility goes up because they've gotten more people. But also your resolve goes down because they may not have housing. So I don't really care for any of these. But I'm going to defer that for the moment. And then people. We'll definitely take our people. 5 or 3. Well, I guess I have to go with 5. Well, it might be actually better just to clear this line right here. Figure that out later. Alright, come on, let's get into this glade. I really want to get into this glade. Let's do trades while we wait. Well, we can't wait, but you know what I mean. Let's see, 248 and 2, that's a good deal right off the bat. I'm not going to sell those, although we could make more, but it's actually a reasonable deal. 11 planks is 187, and 3, that's maybe break-even deal. I think I'll just do this one. And I'm going to do 2 stacks so that we get 10 coins, so we get Moss Grove up to level 1. Probably hear Annie in the background, barking her head off for no reason. Alright, let's get to work up here, people. You guys can come and join. Come and join the fun. Let's put in some additional workers here. Where are you at? There you are. Just to round it out. You are bored. We've made all the planks. We could pull you out of there, but I don't like doing that. Let's get everybody up here and get this stuff chopped, please. Let's get into that glade before we go, because I want to know what's there, because that may influence my decision. No, I don't think it's going to influence my decision, but it may lead to other decisions. So let's do this. Let's do this faster. Come on, everybody. Are all their storages full or nearly full? Was that the problem? Yeah. There we go. It is the seal. We have blood flower as well. 15 more fertile soil. We definitely need to get a farm going. Copper. Berries. Large berries. We'll want to do those during the drizzle. Eat those or consume those. No. Harvest those during the drizzle. Large sea marrow. That's good. And smaller roots. Okay. We'll have to build the forager camp then too. At least in theory. We need to get this put out, gathering something, maybe just over here for right now, gathering both of these kind of simultaneously. We could throw a person at least in that. Maybe we should up this to 2 lizards. It might not be a bad idea. And let me know your thoughts on this cornerstone choice. I'm tempted to re-roll this, but if you really have a strong argument for probably number 1 and number 3, go ahead and give me that. This is just a... You're going to eat my food, but we're going to get 20 crystallized dew for the deal, as well as some amber and some water skin, so that's good. If we fail it, of course, we get -3 global resolve, so that's not always the best. And then, of course, we have our seal. Open or send caches could be easy to do, and install rain engines. Actually, that one's the best one, because that's 8 times... Well, maybe. We only have 4 buildings we can put them in right now. Times 4 is 32, and we happen to have 34 pipes. So if we can get a few more buildings built, even if I built extra copies of the existing ones to be extra sneaky, even if we lose those pipes for those rain engines, we could do that. But let me know your thoughts on that first thing, as well as we're going to turn this in actually right now. Let me know your thoughts on this, on the cornerstone, and anything else, and we will be back in the next episode to take care of those, also this building choice, which farm should I choose, in the next episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.